super excited today. One of my favorite days, one of my favorite things to do is actually introduce you to new partners at LPT. I don't think this person needs any introduction in real estate, but it's awesome because Jason and Jason Clarke real estate team have made the move over from REMAX to LPT Realty, one of the first groups to make the move, certainly not the last, in Canada. And I think it's super important to understand who he is, why he made the move, and what we see as the future of LPT and the future of LPT Canada. So Jason, I know a lot of people already know you, but there might be one or two people watching this that don't really know too much about you. Can you give us just a breakdown of who you are and about your real estate company?
Hey, Isaac. Yeah, for sure. Actually started my career out in the other end of Canada in Kelowna, BC, and started over back in 2019 and moved across the country back to Ontario, where I'm from. And a month after I got my license transferred, it was fun old COVID. So new city, knew no one, started over. And over the last 5 years, I've been building my brand. We've been gaining about we've been 40% year over year. So creating a pretty good market share here in Kingston, Ontario. And was with, most of my career been with REMAX, and I did have my own brokerage for a little stint there, but wanted to do the big switch over to LPT once I learned about it. Over a year ago, I was in New York City for a conference, and I had the luck of actually meeting with Robert Palmer, and he told me about all his brokerage and what he was doing in the States. And I was like, when are you opening in Canada?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's funny because I think the common thread I've seen is once I've seen the model, it's hard to unsee, right? That's what I've heard from a lot of people. So before we jump into like all the details on that side of it, I am just curious. Tell me a little bit more about how you've been able to build and scale your team. The reason why I bring that up is because I just want to dispel something. I think you are really good evidence of that. When I first got to LPT, I got a lot of friends who care about me deeply, but just didn't understand the model because they didn't want to or didn't take the time to understand it. I had a lot of friends, good friends, amazing people, high producing agents across different brokerages who said, well, it kind of seems like only the low producers are going to go there. So Jason, tell us a little bit about what you do. And I know you totally crush. You got tons of listings coming in. Tell us a little bit about that in your business and production wise, because again, not only to demonstrate like, hey, big producers are moving over, but also there's probably somebody out, maybe even in your area, who looks at what you're doing and why you made the move.
Yeah. Like my background before real estate, actually, I was in direct mail. So I helped run Canada's largest direct mail company. So marketing is always something that I've done. Right. So when I moved to Kingston here, I had nothing to rely on. So I, started right off the bat doing direct mail. I eventually, built up my sales. So I was able to dabble into some radio and TV. I do a ton of that as well. And with, LPT, with all the print and all the marketing that they do, it was a natural. I knew, because I've been trying to create something like that for years, even with, I have, at least a $25,000 printer. I have my wife is a graphic designer. I have like everything set up, and it was still impossible to create all the printed pieces I need. But even without LPT, I was able to, build my business up to, just over 100 deals a year in a smaller market here. And right now, for this year, which I've been most of the year with LPT, we're already on track for doing over 200 this year. And we're actually in a down market. Like, I mean, as you know, the tariffs and everything, and everybody threatening us to be the 51st state. It's like everybody's a little unsure. So it's a little more work to get something across the finish line right now.
Yeah, it's funny. We joke a lot about that on the masterminds, right? Like we just kind of shoot the breeze around that. But the interesting thing and just kind of pointing that out, and that's actually why I pointed out, like, especially in your area, to go from 100, a little bit over 100 to 200 in your market right now is remarkable, right? And so you're fighting the tide of a shrinking kind of transaction market, but you're growing. And I think that's a testament to you, your team, And yeah, your marketing expertise, it's one of the reasons why I thought it was so interesting when you made the move, but also so natural, right? You're like you're a high level marketer. You got your guaranteed programs that I know crush, and you being able to see through any of the mist and go, yeah, they're nailing marketing in a way that, would take me years to get to.
And they make it easy for you. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
I'm sure everybody, if they're, watching this video, or maybe it's the first they've heard of LPT, but I mean, we literally go into the back end. I had, a listing yesterday. The photographer went there. I have them send me a few pictures right after the shoot. I upload them into the back end. AI builds the whole package, gets shipped out. And I mean, I'm in Canada. It's being shipped from the States. It will be here tomorrow. So, I mean, 3 days, like pretty good. Free box of all kinds of marketing that's going to help me sell the homes, right? And create more listings from it.
Well, and that's the thing too. And so let's jump into this real quickly. But just to point out for anybody who might not be aware, maybe this is your first time hearing about LPT. LPT stands for Listing Power Tools. It is a listing focused marketing company from its inception, right? And what he's talking about is the listing power pack. So we have this demo box that we show, but we also get for every single listing. And all we do is pay shipping. It's 168 marketing pieces. We're talking door hangers, all the flyers that you need, right? Even business cards specific to that property. And AI designs the entire thing. All you need is 3 photos. And so that's what he's referring to. So Jason, let's rewind a little bit though. What made you really want to make the move? Like, you and I know what you saw and what you heard from Robert, but give me a couple highlights as to what you decided or what helped you make the decision and make it so obvious for you.
Well, the obviously it's like, I mean, the marketing was the obvious part, but the fact
Mhm.
that you have the opportunity to, earn a revenue share. That's another part of the company, right? You earn, there's, stock shares. They haven't gone public yet, but once they do, but we're earning shares along the way. And just the fact to help all the agents on my team as well, because I mean, for them to go into the back end, order a listing power toolbox, and it gives them something to go out and market around a listing, around a neighborhood, and find more business. Like, just these little things. I mean, even if somebody's, doesn't have a big team, it's like, if you're doing 5 deals a year, you're doing 10 deals a year, LPT is going to help you get to 12. They're going to help you
Mm.
get, if you're at 5, they're going to help you get to 7 or 8. And
Yeah.
because all this coaching, all the help, all the stuff in the back end just makes it easy for you, right? And homeowners, especially in a harder market, like, homeowners want somebody that hustles. And when you come into their, show them all the package and everything that you're doing, or there's all kinds of marketing they make for even when you're out just looking for listings and even for buyers. So like, people want hustlers, right? And hey, when the market is great, you're going to be ahead of the curve because you have been hustling, right? So it's it's an endless list. I mean, it's just they know what they're doing and it's dialed in, and I find it very easy to plug right in, and it didn't affect my brand one little bit, and it just accompanied it, and all the back end with, like, zero fees, zero monthly fees. My agents love it, right? Like, zero
Yeah.
sign up fees. Like, I mean, coming from the other brand with the big balloon, it's fees, right? So
Hmm.
just without them even selling a house a month, it's like, okay, if they're not selling a house, they got to find another job just to pay their fees.
Yeah. I mean, that it's a real thing, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting is I've done enough of these to really kind of spot that there's so much to LPT that it does right, right? No fees,
Yeah.
your ability to pick your compensation plan, whether you want the flat fee with the lower cap or the traditional split with a slightly higher cap, but the ability to earn revenue share and additional stock. And then you get into marketing, and then you get into the Ascend initiative with training.
Mhm.
There's so many facets, and like different things stand out to different people, right? And even within an organization, you might be, and it sounds like similar to me, where it was really the marketing that got me. I'm like, okay, great. Like, yeah, I don't have to pay the $90 or whatever it is at my old
Yep.
brokerage. Yeah, I don't have to get feed to death, or I can pick my compensation plan, but I'm on the higher cap anyway, right?
Mhm.
Those things weren't like the big deal changers for me as an individual. The
Yeah.
marketing was, but then you look at my team and they're like, they love all those other parts,
Yeah.
right? If somebody leaves my team, they get to take their 5K cap with them, right? It gets really interesting there.
Yeah.
So right now, you kind of answered my next question, which was like, what tools are you using? What are you really leveraging besides the marketing? And by the way, what he was also referencing is the prospecting power pack. It's, hey, I don't have a listing, Isaac. I want to go get a listing. Awesome. We have boxes where you go out, you order that box, and you're able to start canvassing your neighborhood. And all you have to do is simply empty the box of materials that they give you. There's nothing else. There's no additional strategy that you really need beside the fact that LPT does 2 trainings every single week on exactly how to use those tools. What's the scripting like? Maybe you're leaving a post-it note. What are you writing on that? Right. The cool thing about everybody using the exact same set of tools when it comes to marketing, right? They look different. It's branded to each individual, but in terms of the content and the way you execute the process, that's all uniform. And so they can train that across the entire organization. So anyways, kind of jumping into that, is there anything else that you're really utilizing or seeing as an advantage, maybe even something you hadn't planned on being such a great part of it?
Just, just that they're all like these, when you're growing, there's always, processes and everything that, come into play that kind of, might hold you back, and stuff you've never even thought of were a problem, right? Because if you go from, 50 deals to 100 deals, and you go from 100 deals to 200 deals, there's all kinds of different problems happening, or just leads coming in. So, I mean, the fact that they have free CRM and a free website for everybody through Lofty, like, I mean, it's a $99 setup fee, big deal. And you have I'm using, or you can choose Follow Up Boss, but I've already used Follow Up Boss, have a Sierra site, but let's do a second Lofty site. Why not? Right. And but somebody who's, a single agent or just been starting, like, they can't afford to, Follow Up Boss. Well, in Canada, it's like over $100 US a month. And then, then your website and all that stuff. So, hey, $99 one-time setup fee. You got a wicked CRM, and you've got a website that is, and my buddies already in Canada that have been a little ahead of the game and already built their sites, like, they're already getting all kinds of organic leads coming from it. So
That's awesome.
They're good sites, right?
Well, yeah, and I think you play a unique role because we've been masterminding and stuff like that since the beginning of the year, and I think you play a unique role in your marketing expertise. And LPT has the materials; they're really good. As a matter of fact, I was just up with some buddies in Arizona, stopped by to see them, and they were talking about some stuff. They're also at LPT, and they were like, "Yeah, we need to redesign our buyer packets and our listing packets." And I was like, have you guys taken a real look at the 9 critical questions for sellers, the 7 home buying strategies, and the active marketing plan magazines? And they're like, no, not really. We're like, we got that box that one time, because they're just assimilating to it. And I was like, I had them in my backpack. I carry them with me at all times. I had them in my backpack and dropped them on the table. And they were like, whoa, going through it.
And somebody might be thinking about too, like, in Canada, they just got released. So we got all the Canadian lingo and everything. So if people are worrying that, it's American company, we've got that dialed in. We've got.
Does that mean everything says A at the end?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I just had to mess a deal on that.
-51.
There you go. I love it. So, all right. So, but here's the other thing too. I've seen you give so much good advice on how to leverage those things, right? And all that. So I just want to say thank you publicly, because you've given us a lot of strategy in terms of not just like, hey, here's the tool, but here's how we're leveraging it. Here's how I'm assimilating it into my business right now. Because sometimes that could be hard, right? Especially for a highly productive team like yourself, where, I already have all these things. Right. And so being able to offload some costs and some, processes to that, and trusting that marketing is good. Can you speak a little bit to the quality of the marketing from a perspective of a marketer?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I literally came from the print industry, and just like the pieces that are in that high quality card stock, door hangers that you're getting for free. I mean, go on Vistaprint and try to order, a few hundred door hangers. I mean, you're paying for the die cutout, you're paying for all that, or the local printer if you go to it. Like, it's like, that's why, even with my expertise and my knowledge and all that stuff, like, I didn't do all these things, because it was just too too much cost, too time consuming. Like, never mind, we haven't even talked about the luxury. I mean, the luxury, I've done a few luxury listings so far with LPT since I came over, and like the brochures are like insane. Like 40-page, beautiful, high gloss, soft touch covers. Like it's lights out when you're at a listing appointment.
It's funny that you say that. So one thing that I love about LPT is the ability to have access to the luxury collection or be part of the luxury network, right? I feel like every other brokerage is like, you have to join the luxury network and pay for this designation and do all this stuff in order to get that. And don't get me wrong, all of those programs at every brokerage, the majority of them that I've ever seen, it's well worth it. Okay. But at the same time, maybe you're not fully committed. Maybe you're not in a market where luxury is like a common thing, to where you're spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a year to be part of this membership, to have access to these upgraded marketing plans. At LPT, what I have found very refreshing, and maybe you want to share on this too, is the fact that like, hey, maybe I'm not a luxury designated agent, but I do come across a luxury listing now and then. My listing can qualify to give me access to the luxury marketing without having to go all in on the luxury network, right? Maybe I'm cutting my teeth in luxury. Have you kind of, are you part of luxury? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've just done a couple. I'm not part of the luxury network. I've taken all the supplements and everything that they offer on it just to learn more, and I've been able to offer it to a few nice listings I've had in the last couple months here, and I sold the first luxury listing for Canada, and in the 2 million mark. So it was a nice little feather in my cap. And I mean, the sellers love it because it comes with digital billboards. It comes with, online campaigns. Like, there's so many little touches that even the local luxury realtors don't have going, besides that they've sold other luxury.
Have you shown it to any luxury buddies? Like I have, and every one of them, like some of them are like considering LPT, some have already moved, some are like, no, I'm locked into some crazy contract at my black and white company. But every single one has been like, this is amazing.
Actually, I did a agent open house at the one, and everybody came through and they're like, this is what comes from your company? Like, this, like, what does this cost? They're like, they couldn't believe it, honestly. It was like, we were like, it blew them away because it is impressive. Right.
Well, and I think the way that they do that too is really interesting, because like, talk about alignment, right? With no sign up fee, no monthly fee. You don't pay any of the fees until you sell real estate, right? Yeah. That's alignment. But then also the way they structure the luxury, right? That you're paying a fraction of what the package costs up front. And then if and only if the listing sells, do they collect the remainder. Mm-hmm. So they're in it with us.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I've not seen that.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome. Like, he's figured it out, or they've figured it out.
Yeah, they've done a great job. So tell me, Jason, what are you most excited about for LPT? I mean, you're just really getting started, right?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's just getting started. I mean, it's exciting with the growth and everything that's going to happen. Like yesterday, we had our founders type meeting for Canada with Michael Valdez, and it's lots of things are in the pipes. It's awesome. Like, I mean, it's just a lot of big players are starting to think to make the move over, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to help everybody's brand and help sell more real estate. I mean, homeowners want their houses sold for the most amount of money and the least amount of hassle, and you can do that with proper marketing and exposure, and that's the end of it, right? And we're only going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to be better and better as we go.
Yeah, I think the collective genius of all the people that are making the move, right? Like, and it's wild to see. And so I can anticipate the same thing that happened in the US happening in Canada, which is LPT just hit its 3rd-year mark. Yeah. Real Trends rankings just came out last month. And here's what we saw. LPT's number 10 in the United States in units sold, number 14 in volume. Yeah. So that clearly puts to bed the myth that, that's only for low producers. That's, it's a fly by night company, right? You saw 190 something % increase in volume, 170 something % increase in unit count year over year. As a matter of fact, the guy who runs the numbers for Real Trends, he was heard on a podcast called the Housing Wire Daily, saying like we had to run what they call the anomaly report on LPT and had to go down and actually verify everything because they couldn't really believe the numbers. So I anticipate that happening in Canada. It sounds like you're kind of seeing that fire build up.
No, it's because everybody who's been part of it so far is, they're entrepreneurs, they're, business leaders, they're, forward thinkers. So it's not somebody just coming here because there's no monthly fees. Who cares about that? Like they're coming here because they have a brand. This is going to help their brand. All these tools are going to help them sell more and more homes. And
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. So if someone's watching this and they're like, you know what, maybe I should look more into LPT. Here's the things that I'm struggling with in my business. Like, what advice would you give them if they're maybe not getting what they need from their current brokerage or model, and what maybe they're even considering LPT? What's some of the things that you'd have them look at, or some advice you'd give them?
It's, reach out. Reach out to somebody like myself and find out like what is your pain point? Because if you like, LPT has so much to offer that like we're not going to be able to cover it like in this. Like, one of the things I like is done for me marketing, right? Because it eliminates something. But there's so many other things in the back end that might be something that just is your hurdle from taking you to the next level. So, reach out to me, give me a call. Well, we can have a little Zoom and we can figure it out if it's a fit for you and what would be the best move for you. Because LPT's real estate first. They want people that are selling real estate, and they don't make money unless you sell houses. So they want to help you sell houses, right? So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, that makes sense, and it's funny because years ago I gave a really good friend of mine in another state some advice. They were asking like, "Hey, I just got licensed. I really want to join the right place," and I just gave them blanket advice because I didn't know anybody in their market, right? And I just said, "Listen, here's the simple truth. Whoever stands to lose the most if you fail, that's who you got to go with."
Yeah.
Right. So the people who charge you up front to join, charge you monthly fees, charge you for their training program, what they're really doing is hedging their bet against your failure. They're hedging themselves against your ultimate failure. Whereas a company like LPT, they're saying, no, if you fail, we're in the hole. It's not free to do all these things.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why they have that sense of urgency. That's a really good point to point out. How do people get in touch with you?
A couple ways. You can go to, easy one is go to calljason.ca, and that takes you right to my link tree and has my phone number there, has a link to do a Zoom with me, or you can go to joinlpt.ca, and that will take you to a page where you can watch a video and everything and learn more about LPT. And
that's great.
Program,
yeah, and I think that's like two paths that end up in the same spot. I think the Join LPT takes you to a place where you can kind of learn a lot more of the details before jumping on a call with you, right? And then the other one's like, no, I just want to talk to Jason. Let's just start it.
Yeah,
I love that, man. That's a good idea. I might have to set something up like that as well. Cool. Well, any parting words, anything we didn't go over or hit on that you really think is important for the viewers to understand about you, LPT, anything like that?
No, I think we hit most of it. Just looking to help everybody, and it's fun to see everybody doing better from all these tools. Like I love seeing my team taking out the box, going around their listings, and the good part is like even if you're you can borrow somebody else's listing. Like if somebody wants to join LPT and they say, okay, you can order a box under my listing, put your face on it, go market the neighborhood, and you're going to get business. It's in my best interest for you to succeed as well, right? It's
absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, that's one of the things too. I don't want to labor this thing on too long, but one of the interesting things is when somebody on the team gets a listing, maybe our team leader, Derek, gets a listing here in San Diego, he orders the box branded to another agent on the team, right? And he goes, hey, here's your box. You can go empty it. And it's about Derek's listing, sure, the team leader's listing, but hey, you're going to go out and you're going to canvas the neighborhood. You're going to do all that. And that knocks out so many things. One is we're showing the seller that we actually do the work, right? When they see their neighborhood, painted with all the marketing materials, but it also gives the agent a very concise and precise set of actions to do, right? A lot of times agents are like, well, what should I be doing right now? Am I cold calling? Am I posting on social media? Am I door knocking, calling SOI? Well, when that box comes, they don't have to worry about what they're doing that week. You're marketing this listing and you're looking for buyers and sellers. And we've been getting a lot of listings from that because listing power tools is all about winning the listing first, right? When you have the demo box, going to the listing and demonstrating to the seller that we have marketing expertise above everybody else and have a strategic plan for that marketing. And it helps us win the listing. When we empty the box, it helps us sell it faster. And in addition to that, every other seller in the neighborhood that's seeing how we're marketing and selling faster then turns into an additional prospect. So win more listings, sell the listings faster, and get more listings from your listings, right? It's a triple threat. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Awesome. No, it's been great. I'm just happy to see where the future's going here. I know it's been moving along at the pace a little better than I thought it was. Like it's every day gets better at LPT. I'm loving it and looking forward to the big convention in October.
Yeah, man, I'll be seeing you there for sure. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, brother. Remember, everybody watching this, go ahead and check out those links. They're right here at the bottom of your screen. Call jason.ca, or you can go to joinlpt.ca to learn more and eventually have a conversation with Jason himself.
Awesome. All
All right, brother. We'll see you.
Thanks, buddy.